Hello and welcome back. So in part 3 of the restoration of this Heathkit OS-2 oscilloscope, just going to take, we're just going to start with the initial steps. We've already done an inspection and we've already tested the valves. The next thing I want to do is to remove the CRT from the unit and put that away safely, and then I can start looking at component replacement. Okay, so looking at the Heathkit assembly and operation manual, we're looking at the cathode ray tube installation instructions, and essentially I'm just going to go in reverse. So, last step is place the top clamp over the CRT base and lightly secure using the nuts and washers. So, CRT base, here's the top clamp, here's the washers. We might be able to crack that off. Yep. A couple of lock washers on there. And again, just screw that back on there, put that away. Right, so the clamp, or the two 4BA nuts and lock washers, as it says here, they are now removed, so I can remove the top part of the clamp. Yeah. So it appears they've put some tape underneath there. We'll have to find a way to clean all this up, because you can see it's not in the best condition. Right, so that's the top clamp off. So the next step is to remove the 12-pin socket. Now, here's the socket itself, and I'm worried that it's going to be on there quite tight. Maybe I should have removed it before I took the clamp off. So how am I going to get this off? I think the best thing to do is just to get a screwdriver and just to gently lever the base off. There you go, now it's going, it's gone, there we go, base away. Oh look, would you look at that? There's a wire here that has made its way loose. Wonder where that's come from. If that was on like there, where did it naturally go? Did it go there? We'll have to look at the instructions. And there you go. So, with the base off, the next instructions, oh, we needed to place the tube first. We need to fit the socket, then place the tube. I've done it the other way around. Okay, so I can now pull the CRT out. Very carefully. There's the front of it. Right. Start with this end. That's the base. So there's the key. Oh look, they've numbered the pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it that way now. This shield here is called the new metal shield, or a what does it say? Handle with care. Knocking, jarring, and distorting will destroy the special magnetic properties of the shield. Magnetic Shields Limited. Oh, 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 oh! Held on with a bit of sticky tape. the end, and here's the CRT. So we can see the plates inside. Two getters. Ah, here we go. 3RP1 USA. Okay, we're just looking for any cracks or anything that's there we go. And here's the end. So, as you can see, quite dirty. Be super gentle with this. I do not want to break it because I've had a look. I can't find any replacements here in the UK. I can get them in the States, but they're very expensive. So that's just dirt. Ah, that's interesting. We can see through. So this white thing is the phosphorus coating on the inside, and it's the electrons that are bounced up against it. There we go. So I can't see anything wrong with this. I haven't got a CRT tester, so I've got no way of actually checking the performance of it until we finish the restoration. But the base is a tiny bit loose, but that's generally okay. I'm not worried about that. Just dirty. Right, so put that to one side. Okay, change of plan. I've decided not to replace the power cable straight away, especially not when I'm flipping this thing up and down. I don't want the cable flapping around, getting in the way. Have just tried to remove some of the corrosion from the hole anyway. What I'm actually going to do is I've got to pick an area to start on. So maybe we shall start with the. Let's start with this back section. And then go through it. Go through it in order. Just noticed in here, there's all sorts of awful. So I might actually remove this bezel and give it a proper clean. Then start back here because there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. Definitely needs a clean up. Okay. Okay, so I have a dilemma here, really, and that as I've just removed the CRT mount ring here, and you can see there's a lot of corrosion going on in this unit. The state of the circuit board is awful, really. I wonder if it would be better if I simply just strip the unit back to its component parts, and then I can do a full build following the instructions in your manual. I've got to replace the components anyway, so that would be easier, and that would be a way to do it. Or do I carry on as I have been, just doing one component at a time, taking it slowly? I am more inclined to go with the former and just strip this back, unsolder everything, get all the component parts, and then go through it one by one. Because I've got to get the chassis clean and sorted. I mean, even the back of this pot is corroded, and this one's a right mess. Look. So I think that's going to be the best way to ensure that we end up with a working scope. Anything I don't have to remove I won't, but I think for the sake of it, it's just going to be a case of going through one by one, taking all the bits off, taking them all out, putting everything in a box so I know where it is and safe, and then I can crack on with it. I mean, the underside is nice and clean, so that's fine. And then I actually, once I've got everything off, I can do proper tests on the transformer and all those things. But the amount of corrosion and oxidization that I see in here, I think it's best that I just remove all the components and almost do a full rebuild. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to film bits when I need to during the dismantling process, but basically I'm just going to unsolder everything and take everything out. Right. Okay, so I've started removing the the rest of the components from the front of the scope. Gonna have to get all the pots out. Now what I'm gonna do is, rather than solder them straight away, I'm just gonna cut them out, leaving some of the wires on a little bit. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna carry on, remove these. I'm just gonna cut them so I can remove them, and then I'll go ahead and clean them up. I can test them, measure them all, clean them, do all that. Once I've done the front panel, I'll do the back panel. Once I've done the back panel, then I'll do the rear. Probably going to leave the transformer in place. Don't know yet. Might take it out. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so I was continuing with the front board. Couldn't get the wafer switch and those two pots out because the board was in the way. Excuse me. So out she comes. It was 6 nuts and bolts and a couple of wires that needed snipping. What I've done is I've left the green and yellow heater wires in place so I don't need to replace those. But now I can work on that as I need to. Okay, so disassembly completed. So that's all we got left. I'll just show you all the bits that I've taken off. There's all the pots. There's the transformer. Down in the box is some other bits. And that's it. Completely disassembled. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through... Well, I'm going to start cleaning up the chassis. Cleaning up all of the bits like this. I think, I mean, look at all of that. I don't know what I'm going to do with that actually. And then we can test the transformer, providing that tests okay. I can start assembling the oscilloscope, following the instructions, and whenever the instructions say fit this component, I can test the original one. If it's out of spec or out of tolerance or whatever, we can fit a new one. Excellent. Right. Okay, so I think with this, I'm just going to get my Dremel and just softly grind all that away. Yep. Okay, we'll start on this piece. And when we come back, I'll show you how we got on.